Good evening and welcome to the second forum with Deputy Shaw on 3-7. We have some folks here tonight and the floor is open for you guys for anything you have you wanted to speak to either Selectman or Deputy Shaw about. If you come up here so that people can hear it at home. What's that? Oh, sure. I'm Ted Kryzak. I'm the chairman.
Bill Shields.
Ed Walsh, Selectman.
And I'm Deputy Shaw.
Okay, hi.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, geez, public forum here, I'm not used to this. Well, I have some just general questions. How long have you been on the job now?
It'll be just about 5 years now.
No, here.
Oh,
This
here?
assignment, yeah.
This is my third month.
Third month,
Yes.
okay. What's your thumbnail sketch of what you've seen in 3 months?
What's that?
Thumbnail sketch, what have you seen in 3 months in general? I have no clue as to what you've been doing, so I'm kind of curious as to what you've seen from a standpoint of law enforcement issues, just in general.
I've done everything from traffic to DHS case referrals to warrants to traffic crashes. I mean, a little bit of everything.
Anything real violent? Real serious? Felonies, things like that?
There's no felonies at this point.
Yeah.
A couple of gun issues, but
Right. Okay. I noticed that you have an email address. Do you attend to that on a regular basis? So if I
Yes.
want to run something by you rather than calling you, I can just email you?
yes, every day.
That'll work?
I
Okay.
check it.
Okay. We voted for your assignment. We thought that was a great idea. Really thought it'd be better if it was full-time. Okay, but I was thrilled that at least there was some representation by law enforcement in the community. The motivation for us, of course, people usually vote with issues that are personal to them, right? That's really what motivation. We're down in Horn Pond, Mountain View Drive. You might know where that is. It's
Yep.
right down the street here, okay? And right now, the issue that really motivated us probably isn't in existence, but it will be as soon as ice out occurs. You know the boat launch down there?
Yes.
Near the dam? That's a real problem. In fact, the residents down there is a real problem, that whole hangout deal down there. You familiar with what's going on down there?
I've heard a few complaints.
Yeah, if you check the records, you're going to see it's been going on for a long, long time. You got an issue with drugs and violence down there on a regular basis. And the members of not only the Horn Pond Association that we belong to, but the, what's the other one, honey?
We're in
Mountain View Shore.
Mountain View Shores Association,
Right.
which is homeowners, and then the Horn Pond Association, which is voluntary.
Right,
And that's both sides. That's New Hampshire and Maine that are in that.
Horn
Yeah,
Pond
yeah.
Association is both sides.
Right.
right, right. Now, the reason that I wanted to get your attention tonight is that's what I'm going to be talking about. That's my focal point, because I live in that body of water. And, you know, the AWA, Acton Wakefield Water Association, they maintain kids in the summer on the boat launches to keep the milfoil, et cetera, off the boats, which is a great idea. Well, they don't want to put anybody down there this season. The reason they don't want to put anybody down there is because the kids could get harassed by the folks who are down there. After dark, that place gets pretty wild down there. So when I use the term drugs and violence, that's not a joke. That's reality. So I don't know where your jurisdiction lies. I know that's kind of a no man's land down there because the dam's got New Hampshire on it, so that's Wakefield. And I guess the property, the actual residence, I guess, is Acton. Am I right on that, kiddo? Right? And I don't know York County how that. I know the state police aren't doing much down there. I've already pursued that avenue as well. There's not big enough problems to get them going down there. So I guess my question is, what does it take to get attention down there besides somebody getting, you know, their head busted over with a baseball bat or grabbing somebody with, you know, selling coke down there? I don't know how available you're going to be on a part-time basis, but you look like the only avenue we have to go to when we see there's a problem. Short of an email, is there a quick way to get a hold of you guys?
Yeah, there's you can call if it's an emergency. If you see someone getting assaulted, that would qualify as an emergency.
yeah,
You can call 911.
I'm more about the ongoing just hassles.
Yeah, there's also a business line that
Yeah.
you can call. It's 324-1113.
Yeah, I'm a little familiar with that, okay.
Okay, and that'll put you through to dispatch, and that'll send out. I'm very well aware of the issues that go on down there.
Right.
As the season progresses, I will be addressing those
Okay,
as
cool.
I can. Where it's a public place, there's not a lot of restrictions there. As far as just removing people, you know, I can't really go in and force people
Yeah.
out, but as I see things, and I will be addressing
Typical
it.
summers, nights, after dark, when they start drinking, they start doing whatever they're doing. You got all kinds of stuff going on in there. So basically, the residents, right, people, they don't want to get down there. I'd say it would be an unsafe place to be, for example, if you were a female after dark. Might even be an unsafe place to be if you were a female during the day, based on what people down there have been telling me. That's our whole thing. So when you get the email, it's coming out of Horn Pond, you're looking at the guy who's going to be right, okay?
Yeah.
Because it really shouldn't.
Now,
it really-
have you witnessed crimes down there? Is that what you're saying?
You know what? The neighbors have, I haven't, because I'd probably in a seat, and you'd probably be coming down putting the cuffs on me. But I've seen enough. I go down there. All you have to do is go down there any day in the summer. Just look at that house. Look at all the beer cans. Look at all the turmoil, all the trash. It's obviously a mess. And look at, you can see the paraphernalia all over the property on boat launch, etc. You can tell the night before it was wild in there. And then you just.
And as I said before, if you witness a crime, I would
Oh, yeah,
highly
sure,
recommend that
right.
you call 911 and get an
well,
immediate response
I'm
there. We can
hesitant-
deal with it.
Again, it's, what time?
I'm coming up with you.
Oh, you're going to come up?
I'm
Yes.
Karen Galately, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You guys, more to add? Oh, go
I want to
ahead.
add,
Okay, cool.
322,
324-1113.
an email,
It's dpshaw@co,
SHAW,
yes,
at,
co.york.me.us.
do you have another card?
Yeah, you can have this one if you like.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, cool, great.
I was going to ask you one more thing. Are you going to randomly monitor that? Like, say, if
Oh, yeah.
there's no emergency calls in
Oh,
the summer,
definitely, yeah.
you'd come by?
Yep.
Okay, because I know Peter talked to the Wakefield police about it in depth, too, so it really is a
And-
problem.
Exactly, and as I learn more about the issues, I'll be working with them as well
Great.
to
Good.
coordinate
Okay,
some
good.
things.
That's all I have. Thank you.
The other thing you need to know is since we signed this contract with the Sheriff's Department,
Yeah.
we no longer swap off where we have state troopers one month and deputies the next month. The deputies are with us all the time now. So when Deputy Shaw is not on duty, we still have another deputy that's on duty for Acton, Chapley area. Because by Acton and Chapley taking on this responsibility, that actually cleared some space for them so they could shift deputies around and
Oh,
give us
really?
more coverage. So it's not just the 20 hours a week we have part-time. We've got full-time, round-the-clock coverage by the Sheriff's Department now instead of part-time sheriff, part-time state police.
State police.
And the problem with that issue, I just heard about it as we started this process to hire Deputy Shaw.
Yeah.
The problem with that place is, with the way we were doing it before, 1 month the state police would respond, next month the sheriff would respond, and then they'd write up reports and things like that, but they didn't get a lot of time to follow through on things.
Right.
With Deputy Shaw here now, when those things happen, we can follow through on them, and it doesn't shift from department to department each month, so those things can be taken care of a
Straight line
lot
of
easier.
communications, what you just described. There you go.
And I can be
Yeah.
more familiar with the faces and the players that are there.
Yeah, I'll leave you with this thought, a note. I was talking to the police officer down in Wakefield last August about it, right? Because then we had an association meeting, and some woman was talking about this. It was horrendous down there, it was wild, we had to pull a boat out, they're screaming at us, throwing beer cans, it was horrible. So I went down to see them, and they had told me, the officer said, who was real familiar with us, said, well, the problem is that we don't have any jurisdiction on that house. Specifically, I'm being real direct, I hope it doesn't harm one of you guys, because it's the house, there's no question about it. They described the whole situation. You got bad actors in the house, you got bad actors in the boat launch, they get together after dark, they start brawling, that's what goes on. And he said, we'll get a call, because we have jurisdiction on the dam, and we'll run down there, and we come to the door of that house, and they're real vocal with us, real aggressive, real foul. Get out of here. There's nothing we can do. Zero. We have no, unless we saw something going on right, then we can detain. We have no jurisdiction whatsoever. None. And the problem is, imagine the brass of these people, they know it. That's the issue. So you can't touch us. We're not in the dam, you have no jurisdiction, we're in Maine. That's ridiculous. Those are people who are used to flaunting law enforcement, flaunting the rules. They can't have that.
Yeah.
Because, it's going to progress. It's going to get worse. They're getting too bold. So when I start hearing about drugs and fistfights on a place that I live, I get real concerned about it. Simple as that.
Now, the boat launch itself, that's a state of Maine boat launch, correct?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Okay, but the Wakefield owns the dam, is what you were saying.
They have jurisdiction of dams, New Hampshire.
Yeah, so I know, from the report we got when we started this process, it sounded like Wakefield would come in once in a while, but all they could do was show their colors and leave. They couldn't do anything else about
Exactly, that's right, and-
it. But it is a state of Maine boat ramp, so, the police can definitely do something about
Cool.
it. It's just having the time to get there. I mean, when you had one deputy that was covering 4 or 5 towns, they're putting out fires and not doing fire control, and now we're going to be able to have
correct.
fire
Right.
control.
Yeah, good deal. Okay, super. Well, thrilled to see you. And by the way, before I get off the podium here, what you had said regarding coverage now, that wasn't really clear to me when we voted this in. That sounds like a much better situation than we initially had.
Yeah.
How do you notify the people in the community that's available? Because I think that would be...
Well, we're on tape right now. This will be on, this will be on cable TV.
Oh, cool.
And, you know, it was in the public hearings, when the sheriff was actually there, it was all brought up then. He explained that whole process on how, by having these community police officers, because before he was doing all of York County with, I can't remember what the number was, 20-something deputies, I believe.
It was overwhelming. Just
Right.
listen, I remember that.
And
It was
by
overwhelming.
taking these small areas, these towns that are taking on these community service deputies where we share the cost, it allows him to have another deputy come on board that's just in that area, which clears his deputies that would have been covering, say, from Acton all the way to, I don't know, Kennebunk that night. They don't have to come from Kennebunk to Acton to a thing because there's somebody in the Acton area or the Shapley area. So that's why it's helping us and it's helping the sheriff's department at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That's all I
Great.
had on this issue. Good to see you.
Thank you. All right. Did you have anything else you wanted to add before we go, or?
No, I have nothing.
Okay. All right, thank you, folks, and we'll have another forum with Deputy Shaw on the first Thursday of April.